Right, just getting myself together. Wow. So, hello, Esther. Hello, Abraham. So,
Do you remember when you were out there and you raised your hand?
yes.
What was on your mind?
Right. So, what I want to talk about is living life on the leading edge.
You can't help that. You can't help that. Don't try to make it the leading edge of all leading edges of all leading edges. Just be aware that you are continually opening to a new leading edge of your own life, and that's perfect. In other words, you can't reach to a place that is illogical from where you stand. So the leading edge is the next logical step. It really is. But the leading edge never stops opening to another leading edge. The can't get it done part is the best part of that. Yes?
Yeah, and that's what I find so wonderful.
And don't try to take everyone else with you. Everyone has their own leading edge. And what their leading edge is good for them. Yes?
Yeah, so this feeling of continuous expansion that just feels so great when you're in that space. And yes, there's always this, there's more.
Well, continuous expansion can feel vague if you're trying to reach too far from where you are, and it can feel not exciting enough if you're reaching too close. In other words, you're just wanting to find that sweet spot, and allow your sweet spot to move around for you. In other words, when you've been going and going and going, doesn't resting feel like what you want? And doesn't it move about for you? And can't it all be all right? In other words, sometimes humans get this feeling that they have some responsibility to someone, maybe even just to themselves, to keep making it happen. And we would like you to feel the rhythm of being in this body, and that life itself around you is providing the momentum for new asking, and that now you know what you know. In other words, step one really does take care of itself. It really does. You set that into motion when you decided to be here at this time and space in this body. You set all of that into motion, and so nothing is going wrong with that. You don't need to goose that up or stir that up or make something more happen or long for a different time of birth or place of birth or who of birth. In other words, it's all just exactly what you intended. And so life is performing in its perfect way, and you are responding in your perfect way with the asking. And so that's all unfolding just right, and Source is answering. And now as you are doing your work, which is to line up with what you're asking for, which is to let go and release and relax and have fun and all of that, when you get really good at that, we'll give that a step 4. When you are really good at being in the receiving mode and not trying so hard to make things happen and not worried about when they're not happening, when you are feeling satisfied and up the emotional scale much of the time, we'll say you've mastered it. You're in step 4. And then step 5 is opening a new loop, isn't it? And step 5 is what's next? What's next? Step 5 is exploring the contrast, accepting the contrast, embracing the contrast, reveling in the contrast, but not negative emotion. That's step 5. Contrast, but not negative emotion. That we think is what you mean when you talk about the leading edge. It's a rarefied group that is consistently on the leading edge, because you've come to understand a few things. You've come to understand that you are more than the physical body that you think is you. You come to understand what it feels like to have a relationship with this non-physical part of you, and what the emotions mean in terms of your relationship. That's leading edge. You're on the leading edge when you have mastered pointing at what you want and rarely pointing in opposition. And when you do find yourself pointing in opposition, you acknowledge, I'm having a step one moment, which is just fine, but you're quick to clarify, what's this step one moment reminding you that you want? And then you've got your attention back on that again. And you're roaming around the planet with all kinds of other people that are doing the same thing to the degree that they are deliberate or by default about it. And you're appreciating all of them for the role that they are playing in this huge co-creative experience that you not experience that you're all about, you see. Just savoring life, realizing that you're not here to reconcile something. You're not here to compensate for something that you didn't get done. You're not climbing the rungs of a ladder. You're here for the satisfaction of discovery and focus and manifestation. You are lovers. You are love. You are the vibration of love, looking for endless ways to express it. And what's the point of all of it? What's the point of all of it? The point of all of it is that it's who you are. It's who you are. The point of it isn't to get better at it, because you can't help that. The point of it isn't to find the leading edge, because you can't get off the leading edge. The point of it isn't to explain it to others, because they've got their own explainers. They have their own inner beings. They have their own guidance system. So, Abraham, what do you mean? Why are we here like this? Because it is delicious to be here like this. Because you're eternal and you want more. It's the mantra of the universe. More, 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 more. Enough?
Yeah, so I'm not trying to get somewhere. That's like what I've tried to.
You're not trying to get somewhere, you are there.
Well, already there.
But you're wanting to expand your awareness so that you can savor it more.
Yeah. So I was going to ask, what would my perfect day look like? But
Savoring and a little drought so you can get thirsty every now and again. An extra appreciation of stepping into the shade, but it really is just this constant movement of adjusting and of opening a new loop and then closing one, and opening a new loop and closing one, and opening a new loop and closing one, and opening a new loop and closing one, opening a new loop and closing one. Yeah. Good?
Brilliant. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.